Konnichiwa. Watashi wa Mr. Hamburger-san desu.
私はミスティックさんです。見ててくれ。
How do I say I don't know any more Japanese?
日本語がわかりません。
Welcome to the 73rd podcast. That is all the Japanese that we know. We could have known more if Nigel kept his promise.
I've learned opai.
Is that boob?
Kevin, what's big?
Oki opai.
Oki.
That's a big boob.
Is it big boob or boob big? How do you do
I
it?
think it's boob big.
So, oki.
We're basically
oki.
fluent in Japanese
This
now.
is so embarrassing. We've been here for a week and we don't know jack crap. You would know more of the grammatical.
I'm not that far in my lessons yet.
How do you not
I think
know?
it's big
Okay.
first. It's big first and then...
Big boob?
Oki
Yeah.
opai?
Not boob big, because in Spanish it'd be boob big.
Yeah, I think it's big first.
So like American English.
The right way to do it.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
Well, we were saying it the other way when, what was it? Watashi no penis oki desu.
Oh, you're right.
Right?
I like how you're... We weren't saying that. You weren't saying that. What are you talking about, Alan?
Nobody knows what that means.
What conversation are you talking about? I don't remember this.
You know, being here for a couple of weeks makes me want to put the work into learning Japanese because it'd be
Okay,
fun.
no, Alan,
Yeah.
the reason for that, it's because... Oh, God.
God, if you can't
It's not-
Watashi wa jiheisho desu. Watashi wa jiheisho desu. Watashi wa jiheisho desu.
It's not that the big came after everything. It's that, like, I'll say, your penis was the subject. If that makes sense.
これはmanko desu.
you're-
I can't actually, we really shouldn't be saying anything.
Well, it doesn't mean anything. Who listens? Well, actually, it's definitely people who listen to this speak Japanese.
Yeah.
They're gonna like this part, right? Right.
Like, Alan, you were...
Oh, no.
Just to clarify, Alan, you were saying my penis is big.
Yeah.
Not, I have a big penis. that
Oh,
makes sense.
okay. So if I want to say the other one,
Oh, that's too complicated.
watashi no
What happened to
oki
like
penis
where
desu.
can I buy food or where is the
No.
bathroom? It's just I have a huge dong. That's the first thing everybody wants to learn in a new language.
How many times have you used this in public?
I have a huge dong.
Yeah.
0.
Thank,
I mean,
thank God.
depends on where
You didn't
I
use
am.
it at the 7-Eleven.
I did not. I did.
You can tell when you're saying something if you get something right because all the Japanese people look at you.
Yes.
Oh,
Like,
Kevin, you should clarify. Japanese people who we know, not public.
No, the taxi
Oh no.
driver.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I said it's wet outside, and he laughed.
What? You said it?
Yeah.
Because it was the
It was
typhoon.
raining, and I was like trying to like make small talk, and so I just said it's wet outside. And he just started laughing.
But he also laughed because I'm sitting in the front seat, and Will goes, "Hey Nigel, say this," and he plays it. He plays it on the Google Translate. I'm like, the guy already heard it.
The driver hears Google Translate saying it, and then he hears me saying
And
it.
I'm like, I was saying it, then Will says it again, and the guy just laughs.
That is objectively funny.
He knows that I'm trying, and he's laughing at my incompetence, and it made me not want to speak any more Japanese, except for I have a big penis.
Oh wait, how do you say I cannot speak Japanese like physically? We were talking about this yesterday, right? It's like hanase.
So that was like, I looked up, it was like a random, you just Google search something, you see the first line, and you take that as fact.
Yeah, that's how Google works.
Yeah, that's what I did. So apparently, allegedly, according to this random dude on the internet, yeah, you can say hanashimasen, which is like I
Hanashimasen.
don't. They say it means I don't speak.
Nihongo ga hanashimasen. It's like I cannot speak Japanese.
I think Nihongo o
Nihongo o.
hanashimasen. Yeah, it's like I don't speak. But the other one is like hanasemasen,
Hanasemasen.
which was like I cannot speak it.
Ah,
You were
so
saying
that's the one.
I didn't know go further than that. I don't know.
How do I say I've run out of Japanese?
I don't know.
I love it because I can speak it. I've just run out of words to
Very
say
quickly.
Very quickly.
Well, how much do you have to know to consider yourself speaking it?
I don't think a lot. You can get by without really saying any words at all. Like, for instance, all you have to do is say, hi. And they know exactly what you're saying.
Wait, what?
I don't even know how to say water.
You point and you say,
Mizu.
hi.
Mizu?
Wait, why are you pointing at your crotch?
I'm trying to say I have a big dong.
Oh,
You couldn't even communicate to Nigel in English using a pantomime.
because you're pointing, it's going yes. Kevin, you're like yes, and I'm like I don't know what this means. Oh, this was size. I thought you were just like
The taxi driver understood exactly what I was saying.
You told him.
Yeah. He said, "Sugoi desu."
If this
Sugoi desu ne.
The girl at 7-Eleven knew exactly what I was saying.
we're getting kicked out of Japan.
And then she put all my groceries in a bag, so maybe she didn't understand.
Oh my god, they ask that over and over again. Do you want a bag?
Well,
and
they
it's
probably-
like, and then you look at them, and then they like
then you're
hold up the bag, and then I'm like, yes or no, because it's like I'm pretty sure they're asking for a bag, but I'm also
Yeah, you
afraid to
don't-
say yes to something that I don't know.
And then they say
what they're
another
saying.
3 sentences in Japanese really fast, and you're just like, what?
90% of the time, they get like a sentence out. They take a look at you. They like see your sort of just like blank
Glazed
stare.
over.
Then they start doing gestures. But a handful of times, especially with younger Japanese people, they don't care.
They plow
just
through it.
Plow through it, and it's like I don't know what to do right now. And the more you talk, nothing is happening. I need help.
The thing that is, we were talking to Liberty about it. She was like, the problem is, I said my goal and this whole trip was to go into a 7-Eleven and understand just the first, like, to not blank stare them. I did it once, but it was kind of just a shot in the dark. I just said yes to whatever they asked.
We did pretty good in the last one. We asked how much the neck cooler cost. It was way too expensive.
You know what I just
I'll just say
realized?
we. It was just you.
Imagine being Japanese and coming to America and going to a grocery store where they have like would you like to donate money? And you're just like, yes. Yes.
Oh my, tipping. Can you imagine what a nightmare tipping is
yeah.
if you're coming from a
We-
country that doesn't have that and you don't
We're
speak English?
definitely experiencing it in the reverse.
It's amazing.
But I was saying, Liberty said that they don't, like, I was like, I need to conquer the bag question. But she was like, they ask it in like 3 or 4 different ways. Because she was like, sometimes people go like, they don't just say like, would you like a bag? She was like, they'll use like a different word for it. Like, would you like me to like, whatever, like put everything together? Or do you want like something like it's like
I mean,
in
what's
English.
the worst? Like, what you say hi, and then they start like pull out a revolver from the fucking counter. They start loading with
No.
She looks at you like no one's ever said yes before.
Because that was like when I ordered the wrong kind of chicken in the 7-Eleven, and then when I saw, I was like, kore, and she was like, and I was like, gomenne. I was like, what's the worst that can happen?
No, the worst. I think
She pulls out a gun.
I think you're right. It's not that bad. I think the worst though is like what I guess in my head I feared is sometimes they ask you like, do you have a points card? And I don't want to say yes because there's just
But
even
again, what happens if it is that you say yes and then there's like clearly a misunderstanding because you don't have a point?
Alan,
What's the worst that can happen?
Pulls out
She
a
pulls
revolver.
out her revolver.
If you-
Her Japanese
we can role
revolver.
play-
She asks how many bullets you want in the revolver, then she spins it.
I just
go. Hey, go. That way
How do you
get-
say 6?
I don't know, but I want a chance. I want to fight a chance.
because it's the classic. They ask you a question and it's just blank, and I just fear so much that they ask you another question and it's just another. They go, do you want this? You're like, yeah.
Just learn how
and
to
then
say
it's another
points.
just blank.
And that's
stare.
where you say, go minasai,
Just-
wakare misai.
Just say points no, bag yes.
Wait, what, Kevin?
Points no, bag yes. That's your script. That's your script.
My script. Thank you. I'll hit them with my own script.
And then they're looking at you like I didn't say anything about points.
Do you want the revolver or
She
not?
pulls what? I'm just gonna give it to you.
What I would say in our defense, I'm defending all of us here. What really doesn't help are the plastic like plexiglass dividers because I've had an interaction. It was at the Mario Kart thing too, where it's like people are talking to me and I can't understand them, and I realize they're speaking English. It's not that it's not that they have a bad accent.
That has happened a couple of
It's
times.
they have a mask behind a plastic thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't even hear you in English,
Yeah.
let alone Japanese.
Yeah. The Mario Kart was such a shitty ride.
I appreciate what it was
Trying to do.
I agree with that. I really feel like they shot their shot
Yeah.
and they missed the target.
What is
No, that
the
was
Mario
me.
Kart?
I got the
What
lowest
is the Mario
score.
Kart thing?
Okay, so we went to.
445.
I shot my shot and I missed a lot of targets.
you did get really bad scores.
I did.
We went to Nintendo Land. It's the part of Universal Studios,
Which
here.
is literally just Universal Studios. It is
Well, yeah, it's
in
like,
Universal
It's like
Studios.
Harry Potter World.
Yeah, so
But
you
it's
buy a
Nintendo.
ticket to Universal Studios, and
Yeah.
then they give you a time slot where you can enter Nintendo World.
And it's,
Yeah.
the whole place, it's like something about whatever the plastic is made out of, or like the fit.
Yes.
It looks like a video game. It looks like
Oh, it's
you were
great.
in an
It's a-
N64
It looks really
video
good
game.
when you walk
Very
in.
cool.
Yeah.
It's like a very,
you
very
coins are
neat
spinning?
effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You walk out of Princess Peach's castle, the sewer pipe
It
Yeah.
really
And
made
it's
you
like,
feel
you
like how
walk-
kind
it's
of disgusting
wild.
Mario actually is in real life. Like, he enters her castle through the sewer like a snake. Like a snake traveling through the pipes and out of a toilet. Mario enters Princess Peach's castle.
He curb stomps a bunch of turtles.
He starts killing turtles.
Killing all her aquarium pets.
They have a calzone there, which is a turtle shell calzone filled with yakisoba and cheese. Yakisoba is a kind of fried noodle. And so we wanted to try it because if you crack it open, it just looks like a bunch of guts are spilling out of a turtle.
There's a picture online, like their promo picture, like it looks horrible. Like I just can't imagine anything like that flying in the States. What Nintendo's known for, like it's like kind of kid-friendly video games, and then they open a theme park and sell like disemboweled turtle shell. Like what were you guys thinking? I love it. They should keep
guys
it. Don't
never
get
got
rid of it.
Were you, were you
never got
able
the
to get
shell.
the calzone, Will? Were you able
No,
to
we
get the
weren't
turtle
able to get the
shell?
calzone.
Do you
No,
wanna tell the
this-
story.
Yeah.
How you were.
I knew it was gonna happen too. Remember, we were in line. I was like, "Do you want to go find the turtle? We'll get out of this line. We'll go find the turtle." And you're like, "No, I want to eat now." And I was like, "I know we're gonna miss it if we don't." Long story short, it was like 8:20, and
Like, we
make
need to
our
get
way
up
out.
and go now. Like,
And we, because the park closes at 9:30, they start kicking you out at 9:30, and so we're like making our way to where we think it is. It was like Yoshi's Snack.
Yeah, Snack Island.
Snack
which
Island,
just-
yeah.
was not an island.
That's whatever. And we get there at like 8:31 or 8:32, and there's someone standing there like kind of blocking the line, and someone's still paying. So we're like, "Oh, we just made it," and they refuse to sell us one. And I'm just like, "No, we came all the way from America for the turtle," and they start doing this, and I was like, "Oh my god, they're gonna just do it."
Will
They're gonna
starts-
let it. And then they start doing
a lot of times if Japanese people say no, they're like this. They gave us the big no.
Yeah. And so we go around to where you pick the food up, and there's an entire tray of turtles
sitting there.
Literally like a dozen disemboweled turtles. Well, they're not disemboweled yet, but
And
turtles waiting to be disemboweled.
the employee runs into this area and she
Pulls them
motions
away.
to them to close the blind,
It did
close
look
it.
like they were afraid that we might try and jump the counter to grab the turtle shells. 'cause
Will pulls money.
They took them away fast.
They really did. It's like I opened my wallet and I was trying to pay him like 30,000 yen. He's like, no.
Take the money, take the money.
He's like, you're offering him essentially like $300 American just for this little
Because you know that they're taking that tray and they're throwing them in the garbage.
Yeah.
Like they're not gonna like put them in the fridge or anything. Like those are going in the trash.
Yeah, they were under a heat lamp. They're gone.
And like they should have been going into my trash can. Anyway,
So what Will's trying to say is he'll pay you $300 if you can smuggle him.
you can smuggle
Will you ship it back?
No, I feel like I don't know if I'd be willing to pay $300 for a cold 2-day-old turtle noodle snack.
Oh, right. Anyways,
Just the logistics
Mario
behind it, though,
Kart ride.
maybe.
There's
Oh,
a
yeah.
Mario Kart ride in the Nintendo Land. So I think the idea is like it's supposed to be the closest you can get to playing like a game of Mario Kart in real life, right? So it's like it's the whole gimmick is that it's an AR ride, which kind of
So you're kind of
Sorta
going
works.
through this like cave, like it kind of looks like a Mario track,
Yeah.
but then they overlay like the other players and the enemies.
You're wearing
and
goggles that have a
AR
screen
visor.
projected onto them, so you can see through the goggles, but you can also see the projection in the goggles, so like it composites in real time.
Yeah.
I would describe it as a ride that's kind of old and dated, but they were too ambitious. Like it feels like an older ride that just doesn't work super well, but it's actually just too complicated of an idea to execute properly. Like it's just like you can see what they were trying to do, and
Yeah.
it's just a hot mess.
Like the ride itself is pretty slow and boring, I guess, until you put on the AR goggles, and then it's like this whole new experience, but it just doesn't. It
feels
doesn't
like
match.
You have
almost.
no control of anything. it
Yeah,
feels
it's all like fake control.
Yeah.
So when you're standing in line, there's 3 instructions that they give you: push the buttons to fire, turn the wheel,
and then turn your head,
and then turn
Yeah.
your head.
to, like,
And then you
look
get
at
in the
stuff.
ride, and you're like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Like you instantly forget everything they tell you, and you're just like, bah, 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 bah,
And there's
bah, 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 bah.
there's too much stuff on the AR screen, so you can't see any of like the cool set design that the car is
Right.
driving
The whole reason
through.
why it's AR is
Yeah.
to blend the practical with the thing, but you
It's
only end up
just-
seeing the thing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just like
Because there's a part at the end where you go down like essentially a rainbow road.
Yeah.
That was
That
the
was cool,
entire but that was like I realized because we were outside. I was like, well, like it was really cool rainbow road, and then Will was like, yeah, when you couldn't see anything else because they turned the lights off.
Yeah.
and all you see is is Rainbow Road. I was like, yeah, that was sick. But it's like, well, that's not even AR at that point. That part of it is fully VR, and that was awesome. That
that was
great.
definitely the best.
I genuinely think it probably should have just been
all
fully
been like
VR.
that.
Yeah.
Like, I think that would have been better.
If the entire ride was just on Rainbow Road, that actually would have been pretty sick.
Yeah.
Beginning to end.
And they didn't
Probably
tell us
would
that it
have
was like a
gotten sick.
competition with points either.
Oh, you do
Yeah, I
remember
was
how many
kinda
points you got?
confused.
I got 43.
116.
I got 103, I think.
I got like 101.
Oh, pennies okie des.
Watashi wa Mr. Hamburger desu.
I was
I
trying
actually
to
got 200.
I was trying to shoot the car next to us.
Liar.
I was trying to shoot the car next to us the whole time.
Yeah, like you.
Yeah, I thought you had to like. I was not sure what we were.
Because there was like computers
Yeah.
flying past you, like in little Mario Karts.
At the very
like,
beginning, I tried to shoot Mario and nothing happened. I was like, okay, I think there's like bad guys and good guys, and there's no
Yeah.
friendly fire.
Yes,
You're,
but
like,
they
really
don't
trying to get the Koopa kids.
They really don't.
No,
they
none
don't
of that
tell
is-
you that.
no,
though.
none of that's
And so you're just
explained.
shooting at stuff and nothing is happening,
Yeah.
and then you run out of shells, and so you can't do anything.
and you have to wait till you hit another one
Yeah.
of those.
And you have to hit
things.
the mystery blocks, but I couldn't
Yeah.
tell if
They
you
just
could actually
appear. No,
get
you
them.
can't. No, the item blocks just appear in front of you, and you hit them, and you just get items. Like you don't have to try to steer into them. You can't steer. So like part of I think what pissed me off about it is that they tell you that you have
They
to
like
steer.
Yeah, they emphasize the steering
Yeah,
part.
it's like, oh, you have to steer. But it feels like when you steer, because there's 4 people per car, it doesn't matter what you do when you
Yeah,
steer.
you can't steer.
Steering simply means if you steer at the right time.
If you
I think
steer when
get
there's an
points.
arrow.
It doesn't
I
actually change
steered
how
at
the
the
car
right
moves.
time.
Yeah, and I realized that when you steer, nothing happens, and I just gave up on
Yeah.
steering, so I never got points or coins or
I think maybe it
shells.
just adds up, like, you know, it summates everyone and
No.
get like
No,
no.
no.
I'm saying like because the Koopa or whatever team you're on, people are shooting shells at you. Do you think that there's like they add some stuff up and they're like it
the
calculates whether
average
you can like
I think
you
that-
dodge something?
Because
but you're not
there
actually
was
moving.
things shooting at you, like there's be people up in the clouds
Yeah.
shooting down missiles at you, and they would hit you, and you would spin out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I missed the missile, but then like I look over, and the other team is spinning around too. So I think it's
Yeah.
all programmed. You
So
Or
the
can't.
everyone
car-
sucked.
No, but like if they either give you control or they don't give you control. It's a bad user experience to give everyone control because then it's like you can't properly feedback.
But for
It's
the
like-
missiles, because you can see everyone else's shells in your car.
Yeah.
You can see their shells. So it's like
Right.
theoretically, if you were able to shoot all the missiles before they got to you, then maybe you wouldn't spin out.
Yeah, but
don't
I
know, like,
noticed that
that's possible.
both cars always spun out at the same
Always.
time. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think I did notice that too.
Yeah, it definitely felt like you didn't have control. Like it's the illusion of control.
Right.
Like you don't have free will on the Mario Kart ride.
I think it probably would have been cost prohibitive, but it would have been really cool if it was more like the Star Wars ride. Did any of you ever do the Star Wars ride in Disneyland? Like the really long
no,
one.
I haven't done it yet.
No.
So that one, it's parts of it, it's like bizarre. It's like multi-stage. It's like a 16-minute ride, but like parts of it happen in a car, but it's not on rails. It's like there's like an enormous hallway, and it's just programmed to like.
Oh
drive
yeah,
in a
yeah. The
specific
car,
way.
they're like automated cars that can like navigate a warehouse.
Yeah, I think it's got like
basically.
stripped like lidar inside to make sure
Yes.
it's going like the
That's what
exact
these
same route
cars
every
were.
time. What?
It's the same. I think
were
they're
on a
very
track.
similar.
There was no track?
No, they're not on a track.
I
Yes,
didn't
yeah,
even know
I think
this.
track is power. I think that they have a lot of freedom to move around.
I don't
They do.
think so.
Yes. No, they do.
Really?
Wait, which
Okay.
one?
And when you
The Mario
spin,
Kart.
Mario one.
when you spin, it actually the whole vehicle spins on top of the frame.
Right,
So the
right.
wheels don't move, but
But
if you
these
spin
vehicles
out.
were actually like free running.
I think
like,
that they're semi-free running. Yes.
that's so cool. I couldn't even see it. I couldn't
Yeah.
even notice that was
Yeah.
happening.
I think that most of the stuff you see nowadays, it's actually probably easier to do it like this than to have track.
Yeah, okay, it wasn't a track, but there was like a central
It's guided,
thing.
yeah, I think
yeah,
that's
it
the
was like
power.
a
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, okay. See,
so I
in
think
Star
it could
Wars,
bounce
it's just-
around.
It's like you're just in a hall.
And they have to charge. So they strategically have to park the cars to charge them in the Star Wars ride. Because Disney uses that for a bunch of stuff I've seen online. Like they have the, I think it's the Beauty and the Beast ride or something, or maybe Ratatouille as well, where the cars are all
Just
free
completely,
roaming.
yeah.
It's like an Amazon warehouse. Like you're just literally this robot navigating through.
I think
a
it
space.
adds a lot of like not seeing any tracks adds like a
Yes.
lot of to the experience. I think
Feels like more like you have more freedom, like you have autonomy, like you can make
Yeah.
decisions. Like you're not on a dictated path. You literally, because I think it does change. I think the experience changes because they can, yeah. And so you might go over here, you might go over there, you might,
Man, yeah. So it just a lot of a lot of the Mario Kart stuff was like you couldn't really see it, unfortunately. But I think it's cool they tried. It's cool seeing like sort of the design for the AR goggles that like everyone can use,
Yeah.
right? So it's like you like swap out the visor.
Those are gonna get destroyed if they build that ride in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Like I
People would
realize
steal them.
People like Japanese people, like the culture here is so respectful. Like people just tend to not destroy things. In America, it's
the
almost
bikes
like
aren't locked. Like you walk, you walk on the street by unlocked bikes just sitting there.
in America, everything is an escape room. Like you have to freaking tear it apart to like win a prize. Except the prize is just you broke someone's shit. Like it really feels like that. You know, people like destroying glasses and whatnot. Like dude, the AR goggles, it's like a huge sheet of acrylic.
Yeah.
They're gonna get scratched.
Well,
to
someone's gonna
hell.
take their keys out and just start, like,
Yeah.
scraping it for no
Make
reason.
their mark. I'm gonna make my mark on Nintendo Land.
Like in the bathroom, there's no graffiti in the bathroom. Nothing scrawled onto the mirrors. There's no graffiti on the buildings. Like maybe one vending machine had a tag on it, and that's it.
One. That was the delinquent vending machine.
But everyone's respectful enough to not cover up everybody else's tag
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
They better have that turtle calzo in Los Angeles.
They better, yeah. They
Are
better.
they actually doing a Nintendo World in LA?
Yeah, you can if you go to
outside.
Universal Studios LA right now, like on the way down the escalator, you can actually see like the top of the green hill. Like you can see it poking out of the construction site. Ooh, they're building it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm actually super excited for that.
If I went on that ride again, I would get every single point on that ride. Now that I know,
Yeah.
oh yeah, you'll see.
Oh, you
next
mean
time.
like how if you understood Japanese, you'd be able to play the coin pusher
Yes.
game? What was that coin pusher game that you and
fishing
Reggie
one?
were playing?
the fishing one?
Yeah, what is that? Because I was watching you
Man.
guys. I couldn't come. You guys
Kevin's
had like
like, oh, boy.
somehow you guys had like figured out through context
They were
some of the
sitting
rules.
next
Yeah.
to a Japanese woman who was helping them.
Oh,
Yeah.
because you were like, oh, we need a fifth golden ball, and we need enough stars to catch that fish. Like, how did you derive all of this? It's a coin pusher game. How did you figure this out by shoving coins into a machine?
Dude, I did one. I got like $20 worth of coins, and I blew it in 10 minutes. And I was like, wait a second, like, do you get tickets or anything? I was like, no, that money's just gone. And
Kevin,
then I went over
coin
there.
pusher today
Coin pusher today for sure.
while eating Pizza Hut.
Oh, we should get Pizza Hut. You want to get Pizza Hut now? And order it?
I'll have to order.
I don't know how to order on the phone. I want to just do it online or something. Pick them
Okay.
up.
Do you want to figure out how to get Pizza Hut, and then we can do that as the extra?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I was very overwhelmed because everywhere in America where the coin pushers are, like, it's not gambling.
It's just
so
like Dave and Buster stuff, right?
get
Yeah,
tickets,
there's
right?
not like a lot of it. You had a whole side
Yeah.
video game.
Oh yeah,
with
like
the
coin pusher is normally you put in a quarter, it rolls in, and like eventually it
But you
pushes
win
some coin.
tokens.
You win tokens.
You don't
like
win
tickets,
coins.
yeah, or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tickets.
Yeah.
And so it's like here you win more tokens back, so you can put them back into the machine.
Yeah.
And so you can just lose
You
them
can, all you can do is like prolong your loss.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like at the end of like my coin pusher for 10 minutes, I was like, wait, do I get tickets or anything? I'm like, did I just burn like $20 for nothing?
Yep.
Well, because like
You had fun.
theoretically,
Well, I had fun
you-
until I realized that it was a scam.
If you played well, though, you could get like a net positive, right? You get more coins out than you put in.
You can
And-
trade them for anything.
No, and then you put them in the machine. You
get
get a
money.
card, and you can come back and play again.
Yeah.
I think you can't get money for them.
For the coin pushers, I don't
I don't know.
think so. You might be able to. There might be a coin pusher black market. that
Or
I'm
is there
not
like,
aware
yeah,
of.
is there a store a couple like blocks down that
that takes
buys metal
the
coins?
the coins as
There
money.
might
Each
be.
coin is worth like a yen or whatever.
But I don't think so. I think those are just fun. Think about it. Every coin pusher place has like 4 floors of those claw machines that are just scams. And there's people doing them all the time.
just-
Yeah.
it
Oh, there's
feels-
so much worse than American claw machines too, because I
They're
feel like
yeah,
these are just so
almost had a
anemic.
giant plastic beetle in his grasp
Almost,
like
Kevin.
5 times.
Yeah.
It was
And then every
insane.
time it hit the ceiling, it would like boom, and it would fall right back down.
it's just gambling. Like whether
Yeah.
your-
Oh, yeah, it's-
the machine
Well,
decides.
No,
it's
it's
not
not
because it's
gambling.
skill based.
Yeah.
It's
No, I'm
skill
saying, but
based, not gambling.
In reality,
that's
it's
how
just-
David
it's
Buster's
whenever the
works.
claw just decides, you
No,
know what,
because
this time I'm not letting go.
I'm actually gonna grab it hard
Yeah.
this time.
If it is skill based, though, why do the machines have all the settings?
Well, because it's skill based with some very hard quotation marks.
Because the skill is lining it up, and then the
Triple
computer
quotation
decides.
marks.
if
Because
it's
yeah,
gonna-
like there's it's not just chance. There's some chance in how hard the claw grabs are, but you still need the skill to line it up.
Oh, that's true. You need the skill to be able to put $100 worth of tokens into that machine. The
You
mental
need the
fortitude.
skill to be able to get a job so that you can afford more tokens so that you can play the machine until it
'Cause-
gives you a statistical advantage.
Because the claw, like, let's say randomly, 1 in 100 times, the claw doesn't just like go limp
It,
at the
it doesn't
top.
go all the way up. It stops right before colliding at the top. Where
Yeah.
it jerks the prize out.
Exactly. So it's just like your skill is getting the beetle every time. So that 1 in 100
You get the
Because
beetle.
maybe that one time you missed it.
I know, that could have been it.
Could have been it.
That was the one. Ugh.
It's so bad.
I'd rather have a claw machine that has crappier prizes but works every time if you're good at it.
Yeah,
than
oh,
any of the
100%.
random
The
Prizes
bullshit.
would have to be so bad for that to be sustainable.
I
just
want
charge
something
more
from a claw
money.
machine.
What?
A little
On-
plastic chicken that
on the strip?
screeches. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It's like this big. It screeches when you squish it. It was pretty good.
It's just,
Go get it.
we're just
It's on my
filling
bag.
landfills up with
I could go. You
garbage.
want me to
It's
go get it?
Yeah, go get it. I
little
wanna see it.
trinkets
I'm gonna get my
this.
chicken.
Like what purpose in society?
It's a doorbell.
that's
Oh, I got another one too.
You can use it as a doorbell.
Is
if
the
you
other
don't
one
have a
over there?
doorbell.
You're no one's actually gonna use this as a doorbell.
I have this. I'm not gonna open this. We don't have another doorbell over here though.
So you heard the doorbell story from the last episode. This time I went back to the machine and I thought there was another like style of doorbell, and I thought this was the kind that like you would hit it and it would ring like a bell. No, just another.
There's
It
another.
makes the same sound.
Yeah,
It's the exact same sound.
but it's packaged different. It looks kind of like a big boob, big booba.
Big booba.
Guys, I know how to say this.
You lost it.
My chicken's gone.
What? You lost your chicken?
He chucked it too hard.
It was on my bag. It's gone. We're gonna have to go back.
Somebody probably saw that and they're like, I spent $20 trying to win this chicken on the claw machine, and they just
It's funny because it costs 100 yen, so basically $1 Canadian.
yeah.
To have a chance to win, but they're probably like, you can just get two at the dollar store for $1.
That those are all those prizes are entirely 100% scams. Like the margins on you winning a prize for even like 100 yen, it's just.
But
They're not even trying to make it
Yeah.
fair.
Wait, Kevin, we have to go back and win at the claw machine, no matter what it takes.
What do you want to win?
I don't know, like one of those. The weirdest ones are the chocolates that you can just buy at the store.
Oh yeah, I saw one filled with jerky, like like Slim Jims, but they're only an inch long and
With
pre-packaged.
big beetle.
It's a coin pusher, but it's just Slim jerky. It's like just Slim
Tootsie
Jims.
Rolls that are Slim Jims.
Yes.
There's like the little individually packed ones.
Have you ever felt like you've been oppressed, or like, I don't know, people have not liked you because you're white here?
Yeah, last time we were here,
Really? I
we
haven't
tried
felt
going
it
to
at
a
all.
restaurant. I think like there's definitely places where they don't want to deal with what do we
Like
call it?
tourists?
Gaijin.
Gaijin.
Yeah.
But is that like a race thing, or is that just like, oh my god, I don't have time for this?
Well, I think if you make an effort, they usually like if you're trying to sort of like speak like the language here, it's like when you're an American, like, oh, speak English or go home. It's like if you come here and you try.
Do you think it's just you think those people are the analogs of like the people in
sure,
America that
yeah,
are like,
for sure.
yeah,
there's
I ain't going
conservatives
here if the menu's not in English.
And it's like I think like effort goes a long way here because it's just part of it is like I think there's like a lot of xenophobia, right? But there's also like a lot of like politeness, and especially if you're sticking around Tokyo, it's like very kind of like more touristy, they're more understanding. So it's like I think if you come in and you have like any amount of like Japanese effort, I think they appreciate it.
Yeah, like even like
Nista Hamba.
I think even with like body language and like approach to them, you don't even have to speak the language. I feel like as long as you're kind of polite and.
As long as you're not making their life more miserable by not being able to talk to them. It's like having an app. Like when we asked that woman for help when we were doing that video, she was like, we had the app out except for the part. Oh God.
Please speak English because we had a robot with us that was supposed to be like a robot tour guide, but only spoke Japanese.
Also, it was not a tour guide at all.
Yeah, it turned out to be an emotional support robot, but we didn't know that because we didn't speak Japanese. So we were trying to talk to the robot. So Will said into his phone, "Please speak English."
And then it translated it
Yeah.
to the robot because you have to talk to it in Japanese. So you use the text to speech to speak Japanese. But then we were asking a woman for help, so I pull out the translator app. But the last thing I had typed in was please speak English. And so she looks at it and she just starts laughing. And I was like, I didn't even think twice because all I saw was please speak English. But I'm like, oh, she probably can't read that. But it's a freaking translator app. And so it says the exact same thing above it in Japanese. And we were just like, ah.
Speak English.
Can you imagine, if anywhere in America, if someone pulled open a phone app and said something like "Please speak Spanish,"
And you're like, what the fuck? How am I supposed to speak Spanish?
But I think it's even worse because in America, at least Spanish is like kind of an official languge. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people
Right, there's a
speak
lot,
it.
yeah.
So like it would just be like, yeah, someone just says, please speak
There's
Chinese.
something about demanding it.
Yeah.
Like, no, you speak what I speak.
And she replies, "You speak Japanese."
She said that?
No.
Oh,
She,
yeah.
I think we made it very clear that was not. what we were-
Yeah.
I think. I don't know.
I think the nervous laughter goes a long way as
Yeah.
well. That's universal.
She was very helpful though. She told us just to walk.
Yeah. We walked in the hot sun for
Yeah.
30 minutes, wondering how helpful that actually was.
But I think last time we were here, the only thing I can think of was we went. So we made some Japanese friends that had a YouTube channel, like a small YouTube channel, and they recommended we go to a restaurant. And so we found it. It was kind of near. I think it was in Shinjuku or near Takeshita, and we like go through this like back alley, and it's like this weird hobbit door. It was like I really still want to go. I don't know where it is. I could probably look at the messages. And I like knock, and they open it, and they look, and they just like I don't remember what they said, but it definitely wasn't we're full. I think it was I don't remember, but it was very kind of
Or
like
just like something that let you know that you like weren't welcome there.
yeah,
Kinda,
yeah, but it wasn't like they spit on me.
I feel
We
like
wanted them to.
It was I would have that at least they gave me something. It was just kind of like go away.
that happened to a couple of times to us on this trip, and I think we've always played it off like, oh, I think they're like closed or they must not be open, but it was like 1 o'clock in the
They
afternoon.
just want to deal with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. But also imagine like some Spanish person coming into a restaurant in America and they're like, get out unless you speak my language.
I would try. Like I definitely like it's been interesting, but they've also been closed to tourists for a while, so I can imagine over a couple of years things maybe get a little.
I mean, I get it. Like, I wouldn't want to deal with me.
I feel like there definitely has been a lack of even like I don't want to say trying, but I'm trying to think if I was dealing with someone who didn't speak English, I would be more visual. I would try to like, which a lot of them do.
Yeah.
A lot
Yeah,
of people
there's
are
a
more
lot of
visual where it's like
pantry
holding up two different
Yeah,
cups.
they'll
Like, which
hold it
cup
up.
do you want? Do you want this
Yeah.
or this?
Yeah, hold up the bag and then point at
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, they're just like, what did Liberty say? Someone here who's been helping us a lot. She's like, just say yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, just
Yes.
yes.
Hi.
Hi.
And they pull out the revolver from behind the counter.
No.
Wait, did you say just say yes?
Sorry?
With a taxi. Remember the taxi? It was like, just say yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If they ask anything, just say yes.
And they're like, I have the wrong address. Is this really where you want to go? You're like, yeah.
Well,
yeah,
to
yeah.
be fair, we gave him a 7-Eleven as the address that one time, so I think the guy wasn't.
How much was it, by the way? Like, because we kind of just got out and you paid for it.
It was 45.
Yeah,
It was
you told me that.
$4,500.
That's not bad. 30
$4,500.
yen. 35 bucks?
Yeah, like 35.
Yeah,
Because we got out and poor Kevin is just like dealing with all.
the conversion rate's really good for us, though.
yeah, that's
Last time I was here, it was 100 yen per dollar. Now it's like 130 yen per dollar.
This hat I got for 100 yen. It was like 90% off, so it's about 70 cents.
Plus, I mean,
Yeah.
first of all, that's already dirt cheap. Add the conversion rate on top of that. It's actually a steal.
It's like a 70.
But it doesn't work.
Hat.
Or did you fix it?
No, I didn't fix, but it's fixable. It'll be.
Oh, you can't demo it like that on the
I
podcast.
know.
Both
You
of
broke
them.
both? What the hell?
Well, because I started using the hat as a backpack.
And he was very fearful of the deer.
Oh, you think
Yeah.
it just like popped out?
Yeah. No, you can feel there's like a barb, like a hose barb.
Very
okay.
reminiscent of what's the surgery they do so you can't have kids anymore? Vasectomy.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I got
yeah.
my tubes tied.
No, they cut them.
And they
That's the same sound it makes too.
Like,
That's so sad.
There's no such thing as a dollar store in the States anymore. Everything's like way over $1, but everything
Yeah.
there's like plenty of sub-dollar stuff that I guess with the conversion rate here. Like,
Oh yeah. Like even a drink is 100 yen or less.
yes. That's like what? 60
Yeah.
cents?
70 cents.
Even
yeah.
if even if Walmart or Home Depot, you go to get a drink of water, it's still going to be like $2 in the States now, and here it's only 100 yen.
Japan's lit.
But the problem is, I learned that
Like even
you just buy a lot more and you end up spending
I know
more.
because I think
get
of it like
more.
You do get more.
I feel like I spend like their points now. It's like, oh, it's 100. I don't realize that it's like, it's $1. It's like 4,500
yeah.
is such like a absurdly large number that I'm not used to it. So it's like I
It feels like-
dissociate from the money.
It's like you're in an arcade almost.
Yeah.
Like you're just, oh yeah, I've got some of these. I'll put some of these in
and
the
like
machine and get
the
a
100
drink.
yen coins you put in the machine, they're like tokens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And last time I came to Japan, I remember I just was stopping at every vending machine. I think I had like caffeine overdose.
That does not surprise me.
So I didn't do it this time. But I think in the first week I spent like $400 or something, like $300 in vending
You're on
machines.
vacation,
On
bro.
vending
Yeah.
That's,
And-
I don't believe you. That's
That's insane.
400 drinks.
I was stopping at literally every single vending machine.
But that's a lot of fluid.
But also they're like the Canadian dollar wasn't as
Okay.
strong. So it's like when they were like
400
130.
drinks, and each drink is 500 milliliters.
I think it was like
200
no, because
liters
I was basing on how
you
much
drink
money I took
200
out.
liters of fluid in a
That's
week.
impossible. Yeah, maybe. So 7
No,
days.
it's not impossible. If
It's-
anyone can
yeah.
do it, Nigel can do it.
So in 7 days, I probably spent. I think it was. I don't remember because it was like 3 years.
No, that's
ago.
like 3
No, I think it
liters
was-
a
'cause
day.
we
No,
kept
200.
taking out cash.
That's 30 liters a day.
Okay, no, that's impossible. That's straight up impossible.
How do you say big penis?
Okie pennies.
How do you say fire
Or
hose?
chipotle. I don't know how to say fire hose.
So I think, yeah, that's literally impossible. I just remember I had a limit on my card of taking out $200 per ATM, and it's like I kept having to take it out, and it's like I would not buy anything. Like we weren't buying anything except drinks, and then I would have to go back to the
Public
ATM.
transit, it's cheap, but it's still kind of
Yeah,
expensive.
yeah,
That's
it's still
like
dings you.
JR pass.
But we had the JR
pass.
at the time, so we never paid trains.
Because each train ride costs like 300 yen at the
Depends
most.
on where you're going.
I think
And
that's pretty cheap.
It's cheap until you consider
When you do it
that, like,
every day,
yeah, every day and multiple times
Yeah.
per day. So it's like you could easily spend
like 15
maybe
bucks.
15,
Yeah.
20 bucks a day.
I
on
think
the
it's
train.
cheap. Like if you worked here, for example, let's say you whatever had to travel to work downtown, you'd probably pay like $10 a day for travel or like $6.
Yeah.
and it's like that's fine.
But if you're
because if you add up, but I'm
driving-
saying if you add up gas, parking.
Yeah, but if you're
You can't
if
do
you're
that here.
driving, it would cost you like to go.
it's a few bucks in gas
10
each
miles
way for
No,
sure.
10 miles.
I don't think you can drive anywhere here. Like
No, I meant like back home.
Oh, yeah,
Like
yeah.
if you were to compare it, it's like it would be like a few dollars a day,
But if it's like 10 miles,
Is there a
round
cheaper
trip,
pass?
or
but plus
even-
parking potentially.
Yeah, but if
pro
parking's free at your
tip,
job
pro
usually.
tip for anyone who wants to go to
No.
Japan once it's
Usually.
open again for tourism. They have something that's only open for foreigners called the
Depends,
JR
yeah.
Pass, and you have to get it in the mail. So we didn't have time to get it this time, but it's like I forget, it's like $70, like
Yeah, but that's the
7,000
Japan
yen.
Rail Lines. It doesn't include the other one.
Yeah, but the JR line gets you basically everywhere. Like almost everywhere we've gone, there's like a JR station.
it would
equivalent.
save you money, but you basically have
and
to have-
time.
and
How many times have we stopped to reload our
Oh,
cards?
yeah.
in
You just
between?
walk
Yeah.
with the
No,
JR.
I just put like $100 on the cart and I haven't had to stop once.
Well, we
that's your
didn't.
fault. You're talking about planning ahead by ordering it in the States, but not planning ahead with your
Yeah,
Suica
because
card?
then you can get in there and then you don't waste because you're gonna end up with like $30 left over on your card and
That's
you can't
fine.
spend
It's
it.
better
Alan,
than
you know how you
stop- it's
spend
better
it?
than
You
You can
stopping.
spend it at
vending
7-Eleven.
machines.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, yeah?
So if you come to Japan, what you
JR
have to do-
pass. Get the JR
I'm not
pass.
saying don't get the JR pass, but what you typically do, the easiest way to do it, if you don't want to plan ahead of time, get a Suica card. You can get it in advance at the States. It's this like little green. Oh, you got it. A green card. So it's
Kevin.
Or that. What that. And
And then just put an enormous amount of money on
like
it so that you don't
yeah,
think about
put like $100 on it. So you go if you have to buy it in Japan, only certain machines sell them. We're gonna drop some Japan knowledge right now. You go to the ATMs inside of the stations. They look like ATM machines. It
Yeah.
looks like you can buy these at every single one, but you can't. You can only buy them at I know like the black.
You
one
can
for
refill
sure.
them at almost any station.
But you can get the
refill it.
Passmo at most places.
But those
Yeah,
are like
get
their
the
competitors
Suica card, though.
almost.
Yeah, but my Passmo's worked everywhere the Suica's worked.
Yeah, that's true. I don't really. This looks cooler.
Or you get the JR pass. Which
Wait, I'm
they-
not done describing this one. Then you can have your pitch. You can spend this at like vending machines and 7-Elevens and some other stores. You can
Yeah.
literally put money on this like a prepaid credit card or debit card, and you can tap it at the 7-Eleven, and it will pay for whatever. So if you put like a couple $100 on that and just treat it like a debit card,
Yeah.
like you can then ride the trains. You can buy stuff. You don't have to think about it at all.
Also, if you have an iPhone, you can just like load this onto your iPhone and then just tap your phone, but you can't do that with an Android.
I think
So-
you can. They actually released one, but the problem is you can't download the app because the Play Store doesn't let you.
Well, exactly, because you have to have a Japanese
Yeah.
phone, because it has to do with like the
That's
radios
so
in the
annoying.
phone. We don't have the frequency radio in our phone, but
God
iPhones
bless
do.
the FCC.
Yeah,
But yeah,
So the alternative though,
JR pass.
yes.
If you don't have a couple $100 that you want to just put into a card, it's JR pass.
But that doesn't get you onto some of the subways here.
right. So the JR line is a specific line, but it
It's
gets
the square. The
It,
symbol is a big square.
it gets you basically anywhere you need to go around Tokyo. If you want to get on the Shinkansen, you have to buy the Shinkansen.
So if you want to go
ticket.
super cheap, you probably do the JR Pass and a Suica card. So you'd be spending less money on the Suica card because your JR Pass is going to cover all the JR.
You also have to make, because my brother, when he went to Japan, and like I think before me in like 2017 maybe, the guy he traveled with bought the JR but forgot it at home.
The best of both worlds. That's what you want to do.
But so he had to pay every time. My brother didn't. But I think he was like, when they added it up, he didn't.
Is that the same?
It was similar enough that he was wondering whether paying it ahead of time was worth it. So I think it really depends on your trip, because they bounced around and went all around Japan. So they're paying a lot of like Shinkansen and like other stuff. But if you just stay in like Tokyo, or like depending on what your trip is, it could be very valuable. But if you're trying to like go all around Japan, it might.
I think it's
In
all
certain
a
cases,
drop
it
in the
might not
bucket
be.
compared to the plane ride to get here.
I
you
really
say?
think if you're going on vacation to Japan, it's like you shouldn't worry about spending extra.
No, I
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I know.
Like you spent so much money to get here, just burn your money. That's what
Well,
you
that's why I
this
spent.
is what having a job is for, is so you can
Yeah,
save up money
exactly.
and burn it. You just burn it. If you're coming to Japan, burn
That's
your
why
money.
I bought all those.
Burn.
So put it all in the coin pusher.
Put it all in the
Exactly.
coin pusher. It's a guaranteed way to make it all disappear.
Yeah, it's Sandra and I. We paid. I bought a bucket of coins, and Sandra and I played one of the coin pushers. I think for 3 minutes we lost it.
Really? Dude, Reggie and I are
shoving them in there
Reggie and I
real
are
quick.
gods at this
Yeah, but
game.
we chose a bad coin pusher.
No, there's no bad. This is a skill issue.
You gotta time it just
I don't-
right.
The only thing the skill lets you do is drag it out longer.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, but we last time I can't find them. When we were in Japan, my brother and I found a good one. I think it was like an Indiana Jones one. I remember we were there for like hours on $10
Really?
because
That's
you
pretty
get all
good.
the bonuses. I think my brother started with
It was
one
in
bucket.
Japanese or was it in English?
Oh, it's all in Japanese.
How did you
And there's like
navigate this?
You have to
dragons
see what
moving.
other
There's,
people
like,
are
You have
doing.
no idea what's
It's
happening.
too complicated
No,
to even look at what
this one
people
like would
do.
drop
Yeah.
super balls and would like once you figure out what's happening, it's amazing.
Yeah, what are the balls supposed to do? A lot of them had like bouncy balls in there, but they don't help
I
push the
literally
coin.
think it's
It's
just to
just-
confuse you, to stimulate your brain.
It
to
is.
stay there
It is.
longer.
That's how they work. They just like assault you on every front with lights and sound, and you're just kind of there like.
And Kevin loves
It's
it.
like modern YouTube videos. They're just like,
Yeah. It really
or like
is.
the CO2 meters. You can see how much the CO2 parts per million were.
The one that you mean the one that Kevin breathed
And so
on.
we were
set
like,
off an alarm.
is
Really?
this a bug or a feature? Like, are they trying to make sure that's below a certain level or above a certain level?
Yeah.
how many people died for that mandate?
Oh, a CO2
Yeah.
meter, and I
But why do they have that?
couple million.
Something happened.
It's actually for coronavirus because it's just kind of like a
Measure of how many.
how many people are in there and like how fast the air is getting turned over.
That's
So like 400 is
Oh, I see,
baseline, and anything higher
That's
than that, the air is like stagnating.
That's really creative, actually.
Yeah.
Because we were in one of the game stations. We went the one that had no like the elevator. We couldn't get down, and we had to find the stairs.
Oh yeah.
And then we looked at the CO2, and it just says like air quality poor. And we're like, oh no.
That's when you put in all your coins in the coin pusher. You can't go.
Well,
with
we're like, we
not
don't want to be here because like that just doesn't sound good.
Wait, I got one question about the pass stuff. The
Oh, yeah.
station next to us, that wouldn't count with a JR Pass. We couldn't get on that with a JR Pass.
Which one?
The one right next to us. The
Hatsudai?
Hatsudai.
I don't know.
I think it wouldn't, no?
I don't remember. I don't remember. I just remember I don't think we ever really paid much. Like I got the JR last time, and I just don't remember. All my memory is walking through with the pass and showing
Yeah.
it to the guy.
If the JR Pass does cover those lines, then I
Yeah.
would not buy a Suica card.
I'll look it up. Because JR might. I don't know.
But that's the thing that's confusing, because they have the JR line, which is its own rail.
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah.
a nicer train?
But
Maybe the
does that-
train's not
does
as
that
good.
Does that include the other ones like right next to us? Because that's not JR, I don't think.
Right. I don't remember.
Why is it so confusing? Why are there so many different?
It's
think I ever
actually
looked it
really
up.
confusing. It's if you walk down into one of these Japanese rail stations, there's like
disorienting.
the walls are just completely like the columns that underground are completely covered in text. And
I
it's-
like it. I like
is, but it's
'cause
like-
you
yeah,
can,
it's
you can
fun
always
until you have to get somewhere.
yeah, it shouldn't be this complicated.
there's always enough information to figure out like what you need to figure out to get somewhere. Like sort of that's why when I landed and I almost missed dinner because I didn't taxi here, because my first instinct was like, okay, I'll get in the subway, and then I made my way here.
Okay.
And Nigel's like, oh, you're a real man. I was like, I just didn't even think.
So
Were
I-
you using your phone though? at all? Did you use your phone at all?
No.
Okay.
I was only going off with signage.
Okay.
I have some info
we're just bad
here
at it then.
that we should clarify. So the JR pass, it says, is valid on almost all trains operated by JR, including the Shinkansen,
Oh.
Limited Express, Express Rapid, and local trains, which means like
Shinkansen is bullet train, right?
yeah.
Okay.
So it means like the times where we were confused, not getting on like rails and being like, oh, do we have to pay an extra like $5? Like it would just work
Really?
potentially.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So you can get on almost any train just with the normal entry fee, but then there's reserved and non-reserved cars, and some trains only have reserved cars, and some trains. You know, the bullet train we were on had non-reserved cars, so we wouldn't have had to pay extra. We could have just walked on.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah. Cars 1, 2, and 3 were non-reserved seats. So it's like they don't
So
tell.
we could have used the Suica to get on?
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
No, I
yeah.
do believe
But it's
it.
first come, first serve.
Right. The reserve seats made sure that we knew
So
that we were
with-
all going to
'cause,
get there.
With JR, I don't think it's reserved. But I remember going in like the day before, you can like show your JR pass or something, or the day of, you can show it to them and you can get a seat, but they'll just throw you on like if it's available.
Yeah. Like you're on reserve.
The cool part of the
Yeah.
cards, though, we were talking about this yesterday. I think George said something. Is the money is stored on the card.
How much money are we getting from Japan to be talking about? Like
That's crazy. Look, you
Well,
can go.
that's how we got the visa.
This is what you can
Oh,
basically
that's
do.
Yeah.
fuck! I forgot. Okay, yeah,
I mean,
can
we
take
don't
that part
we don't
out.
have to.
But it's nice. It's
But
nice. Yeah,
I mean, I just think it's cool.
Here, stick the card on the back. It'll tell you how much it has.
So Scott,
Do it again.
reading failed. That's not a number. Reading failed.
Is
This
it
is
saying
really
why
cool,
the
Kevin.
rating
It's a cool
failed?
trick. Uh-oh.
There we go.
Oh, 428 yen. Hey, you got $4 on that card.
So it's stored on the card, and I'm certain this is for user experience. It's like blockchain. It's not like blockchain, but it kind of made me think of blockchain. You scan the card at the station, and it immediately lets you in.
right.
Then it's asynchronously sent to a database.
To actually like make sure that the number in
Correct.
your account is
So
reflected.
if you try to leave the station and the number that's on the card and in the database doesn't work, it will start causing you problems. So you can't artificially increase the number on the card because they know, but they also will let you do it literally at the station. It happens at the terminal. It lets you through.
There's probably some like encryption key too.
Probably, but it's the idea is like it does. You know when you do something and there's like a delay because it's talking to a server somewhere.
yeah.
There's none of that because it happens right there on the card. But the delay happens behind the scenes, but it doesn't affect your user experience.
right.
Just to make sure that the card's not being cheesed. It's really cool because this is how you use the lockers too. You like go up. It still has like a unique identifier. So when you want to use the lockers
Then
in
it
the
opens
subway
up
station,
the right locker just by
So
scanning.
yesterday
That's
it was like
cool.
we scan the card and people are like, well, how do we get it back in? It's like you this is your ID. This is your key to get back into the locker.
That's cool. And that's also a handy way to lose everything. If
Yes.
you lose this week.
No, but if you can even find your locker because of how big the stations are and how confusing everything is.
I swear me and Nigel went to see
Nigel
deer.
and I.
Nigel and Watashiwa went to see the deer yesterday at Deer Park, and I just remember we realized that the deer are like they you can buy cookies to feed them, and they've learned to be very aggressive with people. And so one thing is if they think you have cookies, they will start like trying to eat your pockets because sometimes people have stuff in their pockets.
And when people
yeah?
panic, they just throw the cookies.
So this deer behind me stuck his face and his tongue so far in my pocket that he was able to turn it inside out with his
No
mouth.
He ate
way.
your Suica card.
No, but I was just thinking, I was like I brought my passport with me that day because for the whole trip I didn't know in Osaka, Kyoto if we'd need it. So I was like, if one of these deer eats my goddamn passport,
You're gonna have to chase them.
I
I'm gonna
guarantee-
kill this deer and I'm going to jail.
I guarantee you that has had to have happened once. Like in the
but in
history
the
of this
park-
country, someone has gotten a passport eaten by a deer.
We saw a girl. The deer pulled paper out of her pocket
Yeah.
and wouldn't give it back to her.
We were saying it was probably her homework.
Yeah.
Deer ate her homework.
Alan Pan suplexes a deer.
Sensei, how do you say eat?
How do you say it? Deer ate my homework.
Nara taberu watashi no homework.
We'll do it right now.
Nara ta...
A deer ate my homework.
先生、鹿が私の宿題を食べました。
Wait,
Google
I
Translate
guess.
works extremely well, but the
Sometimes.
UI is kind of shitty. Like it's just frustrating enough.
But what's weird is
like here it doesn't give you the phonetics.
Yeah, I was trying to
give
click
you
the
the
phonetics.
How do you get to the phonetics? Like if you want to see,
But mine doesn't do that.
You want to see all three at the same time.
like.
Mine
Do I say
does.
translate or something, and then it goes here, but now you're out of conversation mode again.
There we go. Oh,
Sensei, shika ga watashi no shikudai o tabe mishita.
Oh God.
I think it'd be really fun to live here for 6 months,
Mm-hmm.
or
Like-
almost how quickly can I learn Japanese? And you
put a comma?
you get stuck in the middle of it. and you
Nigel
have to
can learn
figure
it in 4 weeks. So
Hell yeah.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
1 week, 1 day. I can learn it now.
I think the best way to learn it, I feel I do really well when I have strong.
I feel like
purpose.
that's a bad
And
translation.
if you're at home and you want to learn
don't know.
Japanese, it's what's the purpose? What's the
Right.
point of it? But if you literally need
you-
to ask for a second beer,
Yeah.
there's no stronger motivation than be how do I order another beer? Because
Yeah.
apparently the number 2 in Japan, you can't use that to quantify 2 of something.
But you
if
could do this. It's just
Yeah,
as
you
good.
can do that, but there's what, multiple number systems?
Yeah, futari is 2 people versus if there's flat surfaces involved versus
Like,
It makes sense. Don't worry about it. It makes
It's
sense.
definitely 100%. You'll never convince me that makes sense.
Well, I think so. The equivalent in English is double, die, 2. You have all these different
yeah.
things. By,
But can you use
mono, singular, 1.
Yeah,
it's
English is bullshit.
Yeah. I'm just saying that there are different ways to
Yeah, but I think that you can always use a number to quantify something. Or if you say double, you would say 2 times or two of or 2.
I know what you mean. Where you're I didn't ever look it up, but it's Alan probably knows. How do you say 1? You'd be I want 1.
Right, ichi.
Yeah, but I said that at the 7-Eleven and she corrected me.
Oh, okay.
And she spit on me and pulled out her revolver.
No, because
No one ever says yes to this.
because I didn't look.
To die.
It's what you're saying is that there's a different system to say how many you want, whereas ichi is just the number
just-
How
1.
do I say 6 bullets, please?
I only know
this.
5.
How do I
Yeah,
say 5
yeah,
bullets, please?
That's how they say 6 in Japan. Or that's
That's
six.
how they say 6.
Goban 5.
That's number 5,
Right.
right?
So then you couldn't say 5 bullets in the gun? Could you say that? Would that make sense?
Dude, I don't know.
Well, I guess it's if someone said
I'll take 5 bullets in the gun, please.
銃に5発の弾丸を入れてください。
Please.
Kudasai.
Wait, I don't know which part of that was the 5 bullets.
Gohachu.
So they are just saying 5 bullets?
Well, no, Gohachu is probably the 5.
5つの弾丸。
Okay, well that's no, you can't just do that.
Ichino? What the?
No, it changed completely without the rest of the.
I don't trust
context.
Google Translate.
Yeah, because the context doesn't really work in Google Translate.
5
That's 5.
Go.
Yeah, but you see, it's not
go?
quite understanding what you're trying to
go?
say in there. Go.
Go. There's 3 types of writing in Japan.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
makes part of this.
yeah.
What is this doing? This freaking phone. Oh my god, just this is a mess. Android's a mess. It works if you don't want to use anything more complicated than a single translation.
There's also
Hanbaga o 5 ko?
Get wrecked.
Wait,
Get wrecked and
it's-
just put the number 5 in there. Get fucking wrecked.
Speech output isn't available.
Well, I think that means Goko then, because Go is if it's literally just 5, you can say Go there. Goko.
What you're talking about the different.
Goko.
yeah,
Goko.
in Japan there's 3 different types of writing too, so that makes everything way more complicated.
Why don't they just
Try to explain,
say something
try to
super?
explain fucking silent letters to anybody in English.
I think we should get rid
No,
of
but
them.
I get it.
No,
It's-
but
well,
Did we order
Yeah, yeah.
pizzas?
No, I'm saying.
Okay.
Wait, Kevin.
we
okay,
have
yeah, we just
ordered
skipped the pizzas.
Japanese pizzas from Japanese Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut? And by God, you would, if you read the menu,
4
what we
pizzas.
ordered, you would not think it was a pizza
Wait,
restaurant.
did you guys-
What is the first one? What is the first one we got?
Seafood.
Seafood.
pizza?
Does it say
What does that
pizza?
mean?
Mix.
Read
mix?
the description.
I've never heard
this
of
is
more.
gonna be the octopus.
Wait, no, what? Does it have a description?
Shrimp, squid, tuna, mayonnaise, broccoli, onion, tomato.
Shrimp.
Why is there
squid,
broccoli
tuna,
and
mayonnaise,
mayo?
broccoli,
Onion.
tomato,
Onion, broccoli.
Okay, so would you guess that was a pizza? Probably not. What else did we get?
What's the one with the beef? Like the two different types of meat.
Oh, that
Bulgogi.
sounds great. I call that one.
How do they describe that?
Al,
one?
you don't get an entire pizza. For
I call it
yourself.
bulgogi pizza.
leek, onions, spicy chili peppers, special mayo.
That's mine. That's mine.
The chef's mayo.
Do they have any pizza without mayonnaise on it?
No.
No.
Kevin.
In America, it's tomato sauce. In Japan, it's mayo. Get used to it. Buckle up, buckaroo. Okay, what's the other one?
Teriyaki chicken
Teriyaki chicken.
with corn. Special
Corn.
God, no!
Hey, wait.
There we
They
go.
call it teriyaki chicken, but it's got corn and mayo on
Yeah,
it.
I'm not a fan of that one.
Hell yeah.
And chopped seaweed.
Chop suey.
Hannah, please
Oh,
tell me.
seaweed.
The next one does not have
Are
mayonnaise
these like
on it.
normal pizzas or is this
Yeah,
just
did
like
you
the
find the
crazy
weirdest
shit?
normal
These are the normal.
This is
do they
pizza.
have just a normal ass pepper?
These
Ask
are
for
normal ass
pepperoni
Pepperoni,
pizzas.
motherfucker.
These are
Have
normal
you heard of
These are
it?
ass pizzas.
Pepperoni, do you speak it?
Potato,
Ooh,
mayo.
Potato
that
mayo.
sounds nice. That sounds nice.
I don't know why they have so much mayonnaise.
Cause it's great.
All right, we're gonna eat these delicious mayonnaise pizzas on the Safety Third Patreon Extra. Help us pay for this trip to Japan.